Hi, Sharon here with the last of our three little videos about how to resource ourselves during the times of the clock changing. Okay, so in this section, what I'd like to share with you are my top tips for using environmental factors and food and other agents to help us to kind of transition through this period as easily as we can do. Some of this will be quite familiar to you, but it's always good to be reminded, and some of this might be quite new. Okay, so one of the top things to do is to stay very hydrated. Now, everyone's always encouraging us to drink more water. There's a good reason for that, and it's very easy to forget. It's very simple, it's very easy to forget. So just remind yourself to just take extra hydration, fresh pure water, have as much of that as possible, and try to minimise the caffeine rich drinks, minimise alcohol, and try where possible to avoid the excess processed sugary stuff. Now, it's interesting about sugar because my sort of like observation of this time of year is that we have an increased need for sugar because sugar it's light, it's energy, it's light energy in plant form. That's what sugar is. But most of us have got a pretty imbalanced relationship with sugar because it comes in a very processed way. But actually at this time of year, when you look around, when you look into nature, then there's berries and fruits all around. It's a real rich time of harvest because as the light levels are going down, like the sugar availability naturally is really there. So it's a very natural rhythm, but it's important, I feel, to just be aware that having our sugar in the processed form is going to deplete us, basically. So satisfy those sugar cravings with berries as much as possible, blueberries, any other berries you can get your hands on really, and things like that. Okay, so that's the sugar piece. Also regarding foods, the change of the circadian rhythm affects our hunger patterns as well, and mood. Those two things are really connected. So where possible, aim for foods that are going to help increase your sort of serotonin levels. Your things like avocados, really good to have lots of. Nuts and seeds, also really good. And also get your vitamin D levels up where possible with foods very rich in vitamin D. So you're looking at things like seaweeds, mushrooms, things like that. Have got lots of levels of vitamin D in them. Also, just try where possible to eat the foods that are growing around. Squashes, pumpkins. Make lots of soups, stews, that kind of stuff. And just really make a conscious effort, really, to just go there with those foods. Try and spend as much time outside as possible in natural daylight. And a little practice that I've been doing for the last couple of years is quite interesting. Scientifically, I don't quite know how it works yet, but I just notice a big shift in my energy when I do this. And it's very simple. I get my mobile phone and I set the alarm on my phone for sunrise and sunset. So I'm aware of when it's sunrise and when it's sunset. And when that little gentle alarm bell goes off and I'm aware it's sunrise, I kind of feel into my energy system and I allow the light in. I just become aware that the daylight has begun, and I allow that light in. And then as I go through the day, we get to sunset, it's almost as if there's like a reset button inside me and I go, oh, okay, it's night time now, I can just wind down a bit. So just aligning with that cycle has made a big impact on my energy levels through the day and my capacity to wind down at night. So it's something I've been doing for a couple of years, like since the winter solstice. Not all year long, but I've dipped in and out of it. But I started up again this year at the autumn equinox, and I have really noticed it's made a big difference to my energy levels. So just try it and see if that makes a difference to you. Talking about mobile phones, as wonderful as they are, the light that emanates from them and from laptops, that blue light, isn't particularly good for our eyes. So another thing to consider doing is in the evening, try and come off your laptop, your mobile phone, as soon as it does get to sunset, where possible. I know the world we're living in, it's not as practical, but just even if you did it 1 or 2 nights a week, it could make a big difference to you. And switch to natural light, like just really notice the natural light levels, and light candles, you know, just try and minimize, you know, the overhead light and the bright light. Just really be aware that we are surrounded by a lot of artificial light in our world. And personally, I feel that's a big contributory factor to the SAD syndrome. We're just saturated with artificial light, and we're not really spending enough time in the natural daylight that we've evolved alongside for, you know, a few million years. Another thing is using essential oils and flower remedies, and I'm going to be doing a separate piece on that, so keep a little lookout in your email for that, because those have really helped me as well. And there are specific ones which are tailored to helping us to use the available light more efficiently. And fermented foods actually are quite good. Apparently fermented foods are very good for the gut lining, so it's good to kind of, you know, increase your intake of those. And the last thing as well is about flood yourself with happiness. You know, anything that kind of makes you feel good, do it. You know, if that's listening to good happy music, thinking about things that have brought you happiness and joy, giving yourself permission to go and do something that makes you feel happy, all of those things. Just really give yourself permission to just allow happiness in, and, you know, allow and really enjoy the change of seasons. Because although, you know, I've been talking about the downside to that in terms of the energy system, there's a real upside to that, which is it's a really beautiful time of year. You know, it is a time to go within, renew, reflect, you know, just be very still. And, you know, that's what nature's doing all around us. So, you know, by allowing ourselves to align with that rhythm, we actually, you know, give ourselves a lot of energy and more peace and joy and contentment. So, okay, I hope that's been helpful to you, and please keep in touch. Okay, right, bye for now.